Each of the Ladbrokes Manikato Stakes, Wait for Age, $1 million up for grabs, Group 1 status, and Sunlight, who'll lead, will be right there on speed, is $4.20. US Navy flag at $6, good save. Hootson, $7.50 into $6.50. Kementari, 5 out to 7. Punters worried where he'll settle in the run. Brave Smash, 10 into $9. Malaguera, first up from a spell at 15. Up with them at $15. And Gator says Invincible Star's the one, way over the odds for the Ladbrokes Manikato Stakes. 10, 3, 8 and 2. So Hootson on top for Gator. We'll be having a look at the market from Bet365. Is money coming for Sunlight? Have the punters identified the horse that'll go forward? And Sunlight will start favourite. US Navy flag, solid throughout at 6. Hootson, $7.50 into $6.50. Kementari at 7. Brave Smash at 9. Invincible.
Well, the horse that I'm putting on top is the 10 Hoots, and I just think this is her target, this is her goal. The horse won't have... James Cummings joined me to have a chat about Kementari, and this is a horse that this has been a real...
Ready and racing, and missing the start. Intelligence Cross by 2 or 3 lengths. Jungle Edge, Hootson the first 2 out. Going fast on the outside to join the pair is Invincible Star to make a line of 3. They were followed next of all by Spirit of Valor. Malaguera on the fence improving. Sunlight was not flashed out of the barrier. She's in that group with moving up Brave Smash. A length and a half Voodoo Lad. Fleet Review right off the track. US Navy flag is buried from Tulip Sprite, then Kementari, and last of all Intelligence Cross. 6.50 out, and the front runner is Invincible Star, leading from Jungle Edge and moving up Spirit of Valor. Hootson on the fence behind those with Sunlight. Brave Smash putting in a run. Fleet Review wide, Voodoo Lad further back Tulip, then came Sprite, Malaguera, Kementari and US Navy flag not in it. On the bend, Invincible Star taken on by Spirit of Valor, and the Irish horse moved up and he put his nose in front. Brave Smash a length away running on, then Hootson in the running now. Spirit of Valor the leader. Here comes the Australian galloper Brave Smash. Brave Smash moving up to Spirit of Valor. Spirit of Valor grabbed by Brave Smash. Where he's going to win the big one. Brave Smash goes on to beat Spirit of Valor. I'm not sure third. Flying home on the outside with Sprite with Kementari. Invincible Star behind those, then Sunlight, Spirit of Valor. They were followed by Hootson, who stopped quickly past the post. Voodoo Lad a long way back in the field with Jungle Edge, Fleet Review, Malaguera. US Navy flag was never in it. Intelligence Cross near the tail of the field with Tulip, and Invincible Star has pulled up quickly, and DK Ware fends the Irish horse. And Hugh Bowman wins the first of the big ones. And the record books and the punters say that it could be a formality with Winks tomorrow. Brave Smash up on top of the speed, dug deep. Spirit of Valor had cruised up. He was wide much of the way. He hit the lead. Brave Smash has worn him down. Kementari's come from nowhere, and Sprite will lapping it up. Australia's great rider, and Darren Weir, the phenomenal Victorian.
He always runs well here at Moonee Valley, and I think the blinkers added. I actually said don't put them on in the Everest, and they've come on here tonight, and he's run the race of the prep and just primed for the evening. And so thankful to Australian Bloodstock and Darren Weir for...
Got a great ride, pinged the gates, got into a really nice spot, and yeah, obviously we thought we had him right, obviously going to Sydney, and obviously, you know, we know now that it probably was the track, you know, because he's ran terrific tonight, and, you know, big thanks to all the crew at home, you know, Jared, Matty.
The way the track was playing, that you needed to be thereabouts, and Brave Smash, blinkers on, pinged and settled close.
Yeah, there was a 1,500 metre track record set in the last, so it was lightning fast, and I thought the watering policy was different. But anyway, Brave Smash, with the blinkers on, was able to settle in striking distance, 2 or 3 lengths off them, 3 wide with the trail. And where I've been questioning him in the past is his ability to attack the line and win. But he had that covered. Today, he really knuckled down with the blinkers on. In fairness, swap the run, Spirit of Valor wins the race. I mean, he's the one working 3 wide in front of him, and he went down swinging. So a terrific run, beaten by the barrier. Kementari beaten by the pattern. Best run of the night for me, run of the weekend, probably outside of Winks. He was enormous. storming home out there. Sprite's airborne.
Isn't she going unbelievably well?
Going super. Sunlight, a total forgive run. I laid her, and there was big money on Betfair apparently late to lay her in the race, but she it was a non-event. She was shuffled back out of the race. She actually ran really well, and Hootson was knocked down as well at a key stage. So it was messy, but that's the nature of the 18 races.
So Huey Bowman in the Cox Brave Smash Super, Kementari's run, Mike, considering the pattern of the night, was unbelievable.
Yeah, and late, the last 50, he was just so strong to the line.
But
I think that's because the winner and the second horse have taken off early, and it's pretty hard to do what they did and still run through the line. But terrific training performance by Darren Weir. I mean, this horse has come through the Everest on a heavy 9. Clearly didn't handle the going up there, and he's backed up and delivered that performance with the blinkers back on.
What about Spirit of Valour, though? Like, he's considered a real B-grade sprinter in Europe, hasn't he? There's a perfect example of a horse who has come to Australia, got sun on his back and just flourished.
Yeah, sets it up beautifully for what's called the VRC Classic now, or Sprint Classic on the last day. It hasn't got a sponsor, so they'll all be going around there again in a couple.
Maybe he needs a Canterbury. Canterbury Stakes, 1300.
A level playing field, he wins that race.
Thank you, Gator. Yeah. There's the market for the VRC Sprint Classic. Let's hear from a couple of the beaten jockeys out of the Manikato.
Glenn Schofield, Kementari.
Yeah, look, really got home well from where he was in the run. Super effort.
Brian Maloney, Hootson.
Listen, she began really well. I wanted to hold a prominent spot, but after beginning well, she just couldn't really hold her spot. I got forced down the rail and run appeared in the straight. She was going to be very prominent, but just got knocked down in the vital stage.
Ever seen, and he's up there travelling and pulling. A good result for Brave Smash here. These horses out the back had, the way the track was playing, had really no hope. Kementari was fantastic. There's no doubt about that.
In hindsight, it was probably better leaving them off for the Everest because they wouldn't have done any good anyway.
Well, no argument. No argument at all. It's ended up to a masterstroke because, you know, he didn't handle it was a heavy 10 there on Everest Day, and this was the moment to put him back on him because he hasn't him on before, and he really reacted. He was too good. That Spirit of Valour was terrific there. There was a few horses that had no luck there. Hootson was coming through and got interrupted for a run. Sprite was great again. She obviously loves the Valley, but Kementari, he's had a forgetful preparation, really. Nothing's gone right.
It's a good race.
Sunlight ran well.
She did.
She had no luck, and I thought US...
I'm here at the Valley. You wouldn't believe it. There's only 4 races to go. So get your quaddies on, folks. But let's have a look at the market first. And guess who dominate the market? The 2 leaders in the race. Yep, you guessed it. Cliff's Edge and Siege of Quebec. Cliff's Edge has been absolutely...
Speed one wasn't. Neither had a great run in terms of the way that race panned out. So John Lavery looks progressive.
Jakes are back and racing. Octobello towards the inside, away only fairly. Prized Icon began with zest, pushing forward as well. Out deeper is Siege of Quebec, and also on the outside Cliff's Edge. So the 2 favourites are 1-2. Siege of Quebec will lead Cliff's Edge, then Prized Icon behind them third. Duke Sovereign Nation is last of all on the top corner. So with 750 metres to go, it's Siege of Quebec controlling here, with Cliff's Edge the outside giving the favourite the stare. Sir John Lavery a length and a half away in third, then Prized Icon as they just quicken as they come towards the 500 metres. Duke of Valentin with the centre, it's somewhat around the stablemate, followed by Snoano, Lycurgus, Octobello and Sovereign Nation. Cliff's Edge on the outside is going to throw down the gauntlet at the 300 metres to Siege of Quebec, and Cliffy moves up on the outside and takes the lead. Siege of Quebec under pressure, they brush, and then came Duke of Valentin with Prized Icon. Cliff's Edge at the 100 metres just in front of Siege of Quebec. Prized Icon, Duke of Valentin, Cliff's Edge in front. Cliff's Edge too pretty, won it from a photo between Prized Icon or Duke of Valentinwa. Then came Siege of Quebec, next Octobello, it's somewhat Sir John Lavery, Lycurgus, Sovereign Nation, and a gap to a clear last, Snoano.
Champion trainer Darren Weir goes back-to-back in the Group 2 Schweppes Crystal Mile. Cliff's Edge wins, just as Lucky Hustler did last year for the stable. Johnny Allen in the saddle, and he was heavily backed and he was far too good. On speed, strong and brave, and he runs 1:35.99 in the Group 2 feature. Tight for the minors, James Cummings, Glenn Scott.
Win. The roar from the crowd behind us here Well, it was huge, let me tell you. What's it going to...
Nearly every person here at the Valley seemed to have something on him.
Absolutely. It was the one that had to happen for the punters, and it certainly did, because this horse is such a trier. He's a winner, and he was just way too good for them today. It was a deserved win because he's been racing so consistently, and Darren Weir's got another one looking ahead to the Kennedy Mile that looks to have a great chance.
Oh, he's a likeable horse, Cliff Sedge, and as we discussed through the broadcast, he's only going to continue to improve through his preparation if previous preparations are any guide, and whether he runs...
It was horribly biased to the front runners.
Yeah, it was tough for him. It was tough for anything, well, personally, anything that made ground out wide, I'm giving a tick to on the day. And there was a few of them, I must say, but as a few of these races unfolded, you knew it was on pace. Well, this was the most, I would say, outside of Winks, this was definitely the most popular win of the day. Every man and his dog backed this Cliff Sedge, and especially if the pattern evolved throughout the day. And look, he was beaten to the punch. Most people thought he'd lead, but C.J. Quebec beat him to the punch there, sat outside him, just simply out-toughed him. It's as simple as that. So,
rest of the day, it's probably going to get down to a few factors. This ride will go a long way, no doubt, and that's why the Taj Mahal might be the one to beat. We know he'll be up there rolling along, comes out of the right form, I think, in the Caulfield Cup. Trap for Fools, Ford, Toast and Basil, who knows?
And Matt with Ventura Storm
50 in this very, very open Moonee Valley Gold Cup. And Taj Mahal, he's been holding around that $4.40 mark, in from $4.60 actually, $4.40, so a nice little rally for him late. Ventura Storm is continuing to shift inwards, and a lot of the boys are picking him today. Number 4.
And they're racing, and Sully from the middle stall was the best to begin with. Trap for Fools, and also Ventura Storm is nice and close. Then came the Taj Mahal from that wide gate, is trying to get across, followed by Big Duke, Red Cardinal, LeBron ladies first, then Who Shot the Barman. Further back in the field is Egg Tart, and they were followed by Nikita, Miss Admiration, Toes and Basil, 2 lengths Mega Blast, and Prize Money, who is at the end of the field now and would spot the speed. About Prize Money, Mega Blast. Miss Admiration is last of all. Down the back section past the 1,000 metres, and Trap for Fools is going to try and lead every inch of the way. From the Taj Mahal, who works up on the outside. Sully between them third, a length and a quarter, Ventura Storm, then Big Duke, and next is Ladies First, then Red Cardinal and Egg Tart. Then came on the outside LeBron from Toes and Basil and Nikita. Further back is Who Shot the Barman, Mega Blast and Prize Money. Miss Admiration last, 600 metres to go, and it's Trap for Fools in front. The hammer's down now by a length to Sully, the Taj Mahal. Ventura Storm is running on boldly. A gap LeBron, followed by Ladies First, Red Cardinal and Toes and Basil. 400 metres to go, and the leader Trap for Fools. Ventura Storm a neck away. Sully whacks away. LeBron runs on. Point of the turn. 200 metres to go. Trap for Fools is brave. Ventura Storm trying to get it. LeBron the outside. Trap for Fools grabbed by Ventura Storm. Then LeBron. Ventura Storm at the 50 clear. Ventura Storm a half length. Ventura Storm has won it. Trap for Fools second. LeBron third. Before the photo, Who Shot the Barman or Sully. Then Mega Blast, Miss Admiration. Ladies First, and then Prize Money. Further back the Taj Mahal. A gap in the field to Nikita. Then Red Cardinal, Big Duke, Toes and Basil. And a long last to Egg Tart at the end.
Ventura Storm gives David Hayes and the Lindsay Park team another success in the Group 2 McAfee Moonee Valley Gold Cup. Mark Zara wins it for the first time. Heavily backed.
I think.
Finally, this horse does what we know that he can do.
Yes, he got a perfect ride. He's been gelded and he's had a wind up, and I think his time is, you know, he's going to win plenty of races now. We've worked him out.
That's right. And that wind up was so important because, you know, if you can't...
A lightweight, and he'll run 2 miles, so we've got a really exciting 10 days ahead.
Oh, fantastic.
Well, no horse has won a Moonee Valley Cup and gone on to win a Melbourne Cup in the same season since Kingston Rule did it, the Bart Cummings trained son of Secretariat, who did it in 1990. But we've seen horses that have been able to use this race as a good launching pad. Prince of Penzance won the race the year before he won the Melbourne Cup. There's a sense of timing about Ventura Storm. I know that the Lindsay Park team have had their issues with him. He had wind troubles, but they've got him right now, and he's just certainly peaking at the right time.
Oh, absolutely. He's
right. He's going to take some beating.
Yeah, that's it. He's got into a lovely spot given the pattern of the day. The leader, serious question mark at 2,500, so probably had it covered. Just edged off and stayed really well. He was strong all the way through the line, so nice win with his 55. Trap for Fools looked beaten a couple of times, but with the pattern was able to stick on. I still would risk him at the trip on a level playing field. LeBron was good, came out 700 from home and kept finding the line. He's run well in this race before. Who Shot the Barman was sound. He led to the cup again and run a good 12.
Right, Taj Mahal, disappointing. Didn't back up from the Caulfield Cup, though. He was covered a bit of extra ground. Yeah, he covered extra ground. So
not many win with that run, mate.
LeBron's going well this preparation. He'll finish in the first half of the Melbourne Cup field.
LeBron?
Yep.
He got a check last year, top 10.
Yeah, he finished 9th last year, so he'll run about the same again this year. And
This Admiration hitting the line beautifully.
This Admiration was huge out wide.
It was sound.
And who shot sound?
Sound.
Did you drop $10 on the ground and pick up 5 yesterday? Like you've sucked a serious lemon, haven't you?
Be a very good guide to the Derby, so let's have a look at the sports bet market. It's number 1 Arameo, the Sydney sider. He was second at Group 1 level last start, and he's into $3. He's drawn a tricky gate out wide, and Ty Anglin's going to have to weave some magic. $3.10 this morning, touch $2.90, now $3, and very well backed with sports bet. Savoir $6 into $4.60. He's going to roll forward. In fact,
Savioke jumped away okay, may have got a little bit of a brush from Botti next door and goes back to the end. Savoir began well. Without deep on the track, Thunderdome pressing on as we were told. Real Successes coming through as well, and Cloak, so 4 across the track. Dealmaker behind them, followed by Outrageous, and then Power of Attorney. Behind those horses, Botti, and then Arameo, Stars of Karam approach Discreet Savioke. Mickey Blue Eyes at the end of the field. Quite a good tempo here over the crossing and heading towards the 1,500 metres. Off the rails, it's Cloak in front of Thunderdome, the outside 4 deep. Real Successes, Savioke and Mickey Blue Eyes. To the back section now, just past the 1,200 metres. Cloak is the leader, 3/4 Thunderdome, and Savoir box seating. Cloak still off the rails here, and Savoir has got a lovely passage on the inside to try and take over, but now Cloak extends that lead. So at the 850, Cloak 2 lengths, Savoir, Thunderdome, followed by Outrageous, Real Success. 2 lengths, Dealmaker, Botti. They were followed by Power of Attorney, Stars of Karam from Arameo, about 10 off the lead. Then Savioke, and further back Approach Discreet, and Mickey Blue Eyes is at the end of the field. To the side of the track now, 650 metres to go. Cloak and Savoir together. Thunderdome 3 deep. Real Successes 4 deep. Outrageous behind those horses as Savoir now lets down and goes to the front. Dealmakers in about 6th or 7th. Then Stars of Karam, Arameo running on. Savoir under the whip goes for home. 300 metres to go. 2 lengths in front of Outrageous. Then Real Success. Stars of Karam's picking its way through. Arameo to the outside from Mickey Blue Eyes. Savoir in the straight at the 150. Stars of Karam in hot pursuit. Savoir, Stars of Karam. Arameo late the outside. Savoir, Stars of Karam coming hard, but Savoir, oh, it's tight. Savoir or Stars of Karam, I'm staying out. Arameo prominent but third. Then Savioke, Mickey Blue Eyes, Dealmaker. Real Success, Approach Discreet. Outrageous, Botti, Power of Attorney, Thunderdome, and Cloak got tired and finished at the end, and it'll get up the outside, Stars of Karam.
What a finish by number 10, Stars of Karam, Robbie Lang and Ben Mellum. And what a race to break your maiden in. The Group 2 Drummond Golfars. And Robbie Lang might have a serious Derby contender if he chooses to go in that direction at Flemington next week. Of course, training Polanski to win a Victoria Derby a couple of seasons ago. It's always a significant lead-up race for the Victoria Derby. We saw an upset result today, Robbie Lang with Spirit of Karam.
We did, but this horse is another one who has certainly been showing that he's up to the task in recent starts. He's only been beaten by the smallest of margins. So to see Robbie Lang pull it off today was an awesome thrill.
Yeah, it's Stars of Karam. I got the name wrong, but it was an upset result, but Robbie had been fairly confident that he was always going to make it as a stayer.
Absolutely, and of course now he's got the Derby in his sights, and I think there were a couple of other runs in behind that, the likes of Arameo running on in the Godolphin Blue, widest on the screen there, and those sort of horses going ahead are likely to also make their presence felt once they get out to the 2,500 metres in the Derby on Saturday.
Yeah, Robbie knows how to win a Derby. He did it with Polanski, so he certainly is a master trainer when it comes to a staying horse. So on the quick backup, you won't do much with him throughout the week, but I certainly wouldn't leave him out of consideration for the big race. Let's go to the Group 3 Power Flow Solutions Stakes.
Here's the vase.
a maiden horse wins, but this is a good ride. Talk about good rides. This was a good ride as well.
Yeah, lovely patient ride. Yeah, one of the rides of the day. Great training effort. Robbie Lang, always this time of year towards a derby, he comes to the fore, and he bought the horse too, and another win for Fiorente. He might be a sire of the future.
He could well, yeah. Of the day. Yeah, that market's looking about right to me for this derby, I must say.
Savvy Oak, the one Huey Road time, and
it did make ground on the inside.
And it's a welcome back to the Valley. It's not too far away from the WS Cox Plate of 2018 and Winx's date with Destiny. Let's now meet the...
Riding about her. Ben Battle is the next best, number one. $8.50 out to $9.50. Humidor 16 to 19. Avilius $27 into 26. He's a winner. He's won his last four. Rostropovich $31 into 26. He rolls forward and can lead. Oh,
Cox Plate big on. The Great Bear completes the Great Trilogy of the turn.
It's a popular rendition this year.
It's a wall of noise, literally, at the Valley. Hutchie, it's a legacy day, isn't it, in Australian racing?
No doubt, and we could create history here today. Can she win 4 in a row? There is a noise around here, but she's used to it all. She's won.
I must say, a $230,000 Gold Coast Magic Million buy. What a buy it was.
Yeah. When you've got in excess of, what is it, 19 million or thereabouts. Look, she's on the brink of 20. She'll surpass that today. But I think her win, even though it wasn't a big margin in the Turnbull, might have been, you know, she's got so many career highlights, might have been nearly her best. To win from the position she was in was enormous. I just can't wait to see her out and do her thing. Ash 6-4-1-3 for me. I thought Avilius and Ben Battle probably provide the most resistance, but Kingswell Dream you've got to respect as well. But
to say it's any bigger than last year, even the build up to Hartnell was massive. So unbelievable that we're here sort of 3 years on after her first Cox Plate, and the reception's amazing. It's just our sport at its best, and so proud.
Unbelievable the money that we're holding at Sportsbet, up to $2 million. So okay, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, get on your Sportsbet app and please have a look at all the Winx specials. You get best price.
There's a group of people over in the 1600-metre crossing. There is just not one place you can find a spot now. Everyone is crammed in for a magic couple of moments. Winx standing okay. D'Argento a little bit edging. They're ready, racing. And Winx from barrier number 6 began beautifully. D'Argento towards the inside began well. Kingsville Dreams out the back after a few strides. So they complete 100 metres. D'Argento on the inside of Ben Battle. They're not going fast. Rostropovich out 3 deep. Winx is settling a bit closer. Savvy Cope behind those horses. Further back Avilius the inside. A gap to Humidor. And Kingsville Dream is last of all. Out of the straight, 1600 metres to run. D'Argento in front by 3/4 of a length. Ben Battle. Rostropovich is 3 wide early. Savvy Cope behind those horses 4th, and they were followed by Winx, who's got a lovely position at the moment. 5th one off the fence, 2 lengths Avilius. Humidor. Kingsville Dream's going to be pulled up. Kingsville Dream is out of the race as they head to the back section now. 1,250 metres to go, so already some early drama. D'Argento joined by the international raider Rostropovich. 1.5 lengths to Ben Battle, 3rd as they reach the 1,000 metres, and the speed's got a lot better. Savvy Cope is 4th on the inside, 2 for the back is Winx. They were followed by Avilius, and Humidor is last of all. Heading towards the top corner at the 850. It's D'Argento and Rostropovich together. 1.25 lengths Ben Battle. Savvy Cope the inside as they reach the 750. Further back is Winx in plenty of air. 1.5 lengths to Humidor, and Avilius the inside is last of all. 600 metres to go in the Cox Plate. Rostropovich just in front of D'Argento. Ben Battle. Now Bowman gets moving on Winx. She's only 1.5 lengths to 2 lengths off the lead, followed by Savvy Cope. Rostropovich just in front of D'Argento, but here she comes, and the Valley roars. Winx on the outside moves up, takes the lead from Ben Battle, then Rostropovich and D'Argento into the straight at the 200 metres. It's Winx in front by a length. Ben Battle's going with her. Winx 3/4 Ben Battle. Winx is staving off Ben Battle. Cometh the hour, cometh the legend. Greatness, Winx has done it. It's Equa Utopia. 2 lengths to Ben Battle, Humidor, then a gap to Avilius. Behind those horses then Rostropovich, D'Argento, Savvy Cope and Kingsville Dream has been pulled up in the back straight. It's history at the Valley.
The greatest horses of all time, if not the greatest of all time. Winx wins her 4th Cox Plate. $3 million in prize money takes her to the all-time record for world prize money earned by a racehorse, and she's done it in style. The time, 2:03.47. It's fast. It's outside of her 2 fastest Cox Plates, but it's not far behind. She dominated that field. She dominated that race. Chris Waller and Hugh Bowman have done it again, and Winx stands tallest here in the Cox Plate. Ben Battle, Humidor, they tried their hardest, but this mare, this freak, is so much better than any other horse in the world at the moment. It's unbelievable. Clint Hutchison, what a race.
What a race. She reigns supreme, the Queen. An incredible ride from Huey as well. He was a lot handier early in the race than I thought. Then he got into a beautiful position. And the roar of the crowd down the side when she started to make her move around the field. Ben Battle's been game in defeat. He was there. He ran his race. Let's listen to Huey now with Chris.
So, Hugh Bowman, let's just take a moment to absorb what's just occurred. 29 wins straight, 22 at Group 1 level, 4 Cox Plates. It's fair to say that you and Team Winx have created another race that has stopped the nation.
I can't believe it, Chris, and I really thought in the build-up to this I'd get quite emotional. I am feeling emotional, but the electricity that came through my body when I turned into the home straight just then was something that I guess I only get to feel, but everyone watching, I don't know, I'm lost for everyone watching gets so much joy and pleasure out of the superb ability of this wonderful horse.
Prize money for finishing first has taken her overall prize money earnings to $22.8 million. 22 Group 1s. It's the greatest of any flat performer in the world. Hurricane Flyer, the champion Irish jumper, won 22 Grade 1 hurdle races. But Winx on the flat is so far ahead of her contemporaries, it's not funny. And what an amazing performance for Chris Waller and all of his team to keep this mare up, dominating racing here in Australia for 4 years in succession. She's the most special racehorse. 38,000 people here at the Valley roaring for the wonder mare, Clint Hutchison. It's an amazing feeling here at the Valley.
It is a feeling, quite an emotional is shed out. Well, people, you know, just I suppose letting go now that the race is over and she's done her thing. But
4 Cox Plates. How do you describe that? Never been done. And this mighty mare, she raced so well. Ben Battle was there. We beat the overseas horses. I thank them from the bottom of my heart for coming here. She has shown the talent she is.
What was it?
What a horse. There, 4 Cox Plates. Woo!
Go and enjoy, Debbie. There she is, Debbie Kafidas, one of the owners of Winx. It's this unbelievable mare. And it doesn't matter whether she's the greatest of all time, because right here, right now, she is the #1 seed in world racing. And an amazing scene here as Hugh Bowman just gradually brings her back in front of her adoring fans on both sides of the course. It's been...
Describe the last 800 metres through your eyes, because she was in the absolutely perfect spot.
Yeah, she was. Going past the straight the first time, I was a little bit concerned she might get caught 3 wide, but it also unfolded very well. She got cover. The speed wasn't too strong, and if anything, they were going a bit slow. She only performs under pressure. So that was my only concern, but to see her unleash as she does. I was looking for Humidor coming off her back and seeing how the others were travelling, but she had them covered a long way from home.
And I'm watching the emotion from all of your staff. This huge team that is. Can you describe what it feels like to be the captain of this amazing team?
Undescribable. They all do great jobs. Not just Winx, but even just all the media, the fans. It's just gotten to a whole new level. And as I say, we're not trained to deal with it, but thanks to everybody.
And does it mean so much more when you look around and you see, have a look at the scenes here, how much she means to us in Australia, your adopted country?
It's pretty special. I can't say much more. I'm gassed. Lucky the horse has got more petrol than me.
You've been amazing this week, mate.
But the next week will be unbelievable. Thanks.
Joins me. Saeed, Ben Battles runs so well. He's just run into one of the greatest of all time.
Well, she's a superstar. She's best of the best. I'm very happy for the trainer and owner, jockey. It's a great race, and we take our chance, but he got to beat our horse from Better Valley.
Are you proud of the way that your horse ran?
He ran well, you know, and I know he don't shoot on the ground. That's what I said before the race, but she's something special.
I know that you've been here before for a Cox Plate. He's run so well for you. Would you like to come again?
We'll try to bring something even in the future. We'll talk to Shah Muhammad. Shah Muhammad, he'll make a decision.
Thank you, Saeed.
Thank you, sir.
There's been a momentous day for Australian racing with the wonder mare Winx winning her 4th Cox Plate. We're going to talk more about that, but what a day. What a performance by Winx.
What an incredible privilege that we've actually been able to be here today. And to be fair, I had a pretty good view of the race, so I'll remember that forever because it's such a significant moment in racing. And she has just been such an outstanding racehorse for so many years, and I just love the fact that so many people have got behind her, so many people love her, and as you mentioned, the crowd behind us, well, they came out in force today and they're still partying away now.
We'll touch base with you again to find out, but just while we've got you, what was your take on Humidor in the race?
I had every chance, followed Winx and ran great, but the first and second horse were just miles too good for him.
Karen McAvoy at D'Argento.
Yeah, we ended up in front. He got in a nice rhythm and used himself bringing him undone. But look, he's a 2,000 metre winner, and I wouldn't be against trying it again in the future.
Damien Lane, Humidor.
He ran terrific. Obviously followed her the whole way and down the side. When she quickened around him, I just couldn't go with her. And thought he was brave in the third, tried hard.
Ryan Moore, Rostropovich.
Yeah, look, he's ran a nice race. He had to do it. A lot of hard work, but win as a champion. Nice to see her.
Oisin Murphy, Ben Battle.
Big run. We've met a champion in Winx, and she was very impressive today. Full credit to her team, Chris Waller, owners, and Hugh Bowman.
Glenn Schofield, Avilius.
Yeah, he ran super. Came around the corner with a bit of horse under me, and he gave me a good kick. So next Tuesday, welcome.
John Allen, what happened out there on Kingswell Dream?
Yeah, look, I'm not sure. It felt just when he left the gates as if maybe he hit that quarter that he cut himself last year. It was as if he hit a nerve or something because his action was bad for a few strides when he left the gate, and then he came good once.
Big race with getting...
No doubt you enjoyed what was just a day to never ever to forget, and you had the great honour, Matty, of calling her.
Yeah, it was, Richo. It was
brilliant.
an honour. And like you said, it was just an honour to walk through the front gate there yesterday and be there. And as an Australian racing fan, how bloody good was it? We saw a horse just romp in her 4th Cox Plate. It is something it's just unbelievable. And congratulations to all involved. The management of that horse has been just spectacular.
And the management...
in all seriousness, so... Winx, how will she be judged in, say, 90 years? That's about the era since Phar Lap. Phar Lap, at one stage, won 32 of 35 races. He was beaten twice at 1,400 metres, ran second, and once in a Melbourne Cup with 68. So that was his golden era. Winx, obviously 28 in a row, whatever it up to, and 22 Group 1s, 4 Cox Plates. I wonder, assuming the society's still, around in 90 years, how will the two be compared?
Yeah, it's a great question. I wish Terry Bailey was part of the panel who got to see Phar Lap. Mike Simon, just joking, TV, you know I love it. Mike, how good was it?
It was an absolute privilege to be on course yesterday, Richo. The build-up to the race was phenomenal. I was sitting back wanting to enjoy the last 600 of Matty Hill's call, but the crowd noise and it was deafening. I didn't hear the last 600 metres, Matty. I presume you nailed it.
Yeah, butchered
because the crowd took over from about the 600 metre mark, and it was just goosebumps on the back of your neck type feeling. And sitting there I was in the sort of level 4 of the grandstand, and I just sort of basically placed myself there for the sort of hour and a half leading into the Cox Plate, and you just sort of soak it all in, because you know that in 20, 30, 40 years, if we're still here, we'll be talking to our friends and our grandkids and everyone about the mighty mare that is Winx. I mean, it was such a special day.
I think you're 100% right. I had a chance to sit back and enjoy this race, but just watching Gator, when Huey right here, he's looking inside. Savvy Cope's over racing a touch. Avilius looked in a beautiful spot, but then Savvy Cope ends up going forward and taking that rail spot behind D'Argento, and then it all pans out perfectly for Huey.
Yeah, that's right. It looked awkward, didn't it? First turn, 3 wide, but was able to slot in once Savvy Cope went to the rail. They were obviously trying to get some cover because it was over racing, significant as she was. 1:27.85, first 12:40. Let's line that up with last year. So a couple of lengths quicker, actually, than last year. It was a faster track, though, note that. Go back a couple of years to her track record, Cox Plate, or first of her two, 1:27.34. It actually went about 3 lengths slower in this than even her first Cox Plate. So overall time, probably irrelevant, 2:03.47. She's got a couple of track records here, but she just got into the right spot, travelled best, deepest into the race.
OK, Rostropovich is about to take over from D'Argento. Grab a coffee. Hope it's a McCafe. Sit back. Let's pump up the volume. Good luck here, Matty. Hope you nail it.
The 850. It's D'Argento and Rostropovich together. Just in front of D'Argento, Ben Battle. Now Bowman gets moving on Winx. She's only a length and a half to 2 lengths off the lead, followed by Savvy Cope. Rostropovich just in front of D'Argento, but here she comes, and the valley roars. Winx on the outside moves up, takes the lead from Ben Battle, then Rostropovich and D'Argento into the straight at the 200 metres. It's Winx in front by a length. Ben Battle's going with her. Winx 3 corners, Ben Battle. Winx is staving off Ben Battle. Cometh the hour, cometh the legend. Greatness, Winx has done it. It's Equa Utopia. 2 lengths to Ben Battle. Humidor, then a gap to Avilius.
Absolutely bloody brilliant, Matty. The mare was good. Huey was sublime. Chris Waller, let's never underestimate the effort to peak that horse on this day 4 years in a row. Your advantage because she's a superstar, but still, the work, the effort, you saw the strappers bawling their eyes out, the whole staff there, everyone plays their part, and Huey got it 100% right.
I think the only person that wasn't worried there yesterday was the horse herself. She's just a complete professional, isn't she? As soon as she walked out of her box into the mounting.
Absolutely phenomenal. So I guess the question is, are we going to see a little bit more of her?
5?
Maybe 5, or certainly in the autumn.
I think they will prepare her. I mean, the educated guess is they prepare her for the autumn, and at any time when she says, I don't want to do it, they pull the pin. But they give her the opportunity of having a crack at a third Queen Elizabeth, which is as rich prize money as what we saw yesterday. I mean, she goes to just short of $23 million. She's the #1 money earner in world horse racing. Go past Arrogate yesterday. She's a freak.
Oh, she's an absolute freak. It's incredible.
For me, was where the grey horse D'Argento was. I certainly didn't have him leading.
Yeah, they announced they're going to be more positive. I didn't think that would be leading either. And not only was he leading with Rostropovich going up and sitting outside him, it was a pretty solid clip, as I mentioned. So they're 1:27.85, so they would have led last year's field in track record time by, about 2 lengths. So they weren't walking. And not only that, they were racing each other. So I think D'Argento clearly a forgive run. I don't think that's the right pattern. I expected Rostropovich to hang on better. Look, Ben Battle was very good. He was clear second best. When Winx went past him, he was very brave. He wanted to race. He wanted to win. He was just inferior. And Humidor, who had the back of Winx, similar to last year, got left. He's not the first, he won't be the last, but he finished off well and held the 4th horse easily. That was Avilius. Now, this wasn't, in my humble opinion, a Green Moon or efficient type Melbourne Cup lead-up run.
For Avilius?
Yep.
I reckon Rostropovich was, though.
Yeah, he held on.
I'm really happy with him, because he goes to 51 kilos.
Yes, no weight, yeah. Look, I wanted him to hang on a bit better. I wanted Avilius to be hitting the line. So the difference is both Efficient and Green Moon were terrific late splits, even though they were all beaten in slowly run Cox Plates. It was sneaky, really good runs. Their last 200 splits were excellent. Avilius, not so much. I've got concerns. I'm working around him.
What about Fioronte did a little bit like Rostropovich did, though Fioronte held on, ran 2nd or 3rd, yeah. What did you make of the Coolmore horse from a cup point of view, Mike?
I thought it was a sound run. I have doubts about Avilius at
Rostropovich.
I thought it was a fair run. and Avilius, I still got doubts about him at 2 miles, a genuine 2 miles. And I think Humidor, I know he's still in the Melbourne Cup, but I think he's much better placed at 2,000 metres.
Yeah, he's going to the McKinnon.
You know, and he was ridden perfectly yesterday, Humidor, and they picked up 375,000 for running third. So, you know, he's just a high-class 2,000 metre race.
Yeah, I think overall, I don't think the Melbourne...
We were, you know, in elation after Winx. There was a nasty incident happening on course, and that was that Kingswood Dream was eased out of the race by John Allen and then floated, took to the Ballarat Veterinary Clinic. And we know now, overnight, he's been diagnosed with a fractured pelvis. Ooh. So it's not great for Kingswood Dream at the moment. Fractured pelvis would mean a lengthy break, many months in the paddock to try and get over that. So we wish him a speedy recovery, and we will certainly get...
Fingers crossed for Kingswood Dream. 38,035 is the official crowd at Moonee Valley on Saturday. That was...
Let's start the campaign now to keep racing and go for 5 Cox Plates. Have you ever seen more perfection? It was just unbelievable there yesterday, and to think in our lifetime we've seen a horse to win 4 Cox Plates after Kingston Town won 3, you thought you'd never see it again. Well, she's gone past that. Ron Duffy, Lizzie Gels, Blake Shin, history in the making. Yeah. She gets better.
She does.
Let's hope it never ends, but it will one day.
It will, and it's not far off, but one thing, she's immortalised herself, there's no doubt about that, and what a show the Moonee Valley Race Club put on, and what a show she put on. She was the star act, and she delivered.
Ending to a, you know, to the script, you know, the perfect script, so history was made, and she's a legend, and yeah, it's great to have ridden against her and be able to witness such a special racehorse.
And all the jockeys just ready.
Rostropovich just in front of D'Argento, but here she comes, and the valley roars. Winx on the outside moves up, takes the lead from Ben Battle, then Rostropovich and D'Argento into the straight of the 200 metres. It's Winx in front by a length. Ben Battle's going with her. Winx 3/4, Ben Battle. Winx is staving off Ben Battle. Cometh the hour, cometh the legend. Greatness, Winx has done it. It's Equine Utopia. 2 lengths to Ben Battle. Humidor, then a gap to Avilius. Behind those horses, then Rostropovich, D'Argento.
Well, the sheer relief, this massive build-up, and then that relief, everyone breathes out, it's over, she's done it.
Yeah. It gets to that stage, doesn't it? We're all willing her home, and we all get that nervous moment. I don't think there was any nervous moments yesterday. He just put her in a beautiful spot, didn't he? And travelled. She was close. She had her eye on her main dangers there, although Humidor was on her back, slipstreaming like you did. They learned from what you did the previous year, and they got another dividend there. So, what do you want to say? What do you want to say? It's just, she's just...
Well, when you say...
She overcomes bias.
She does.
She overcomes everything. She overcomes checkered passage.
She does.
She overcomes missing the start. Yeah. She overcomes heavy bog tracks. Remember that day she went at Rosehill on an absolute bog track?
Well, she's almost better on a bog track.
Well, going into the Golden Slipper Day that year when it was that bog track, everyone thought, oh, hello, how's she going to handle this? And there were worrying signs, so, well, she's never been on this. She was even better. It was one of the biggest, easiest wins.
Yeah.
When you look at training performances, I mean, the Bowman Winx show is right up there with the best of them.
Oh, there's no doubt. There's no doubt. It's
I reckon the greatest quote ever in racing was when Freedman said, go and find the smallest child on the track, and that might be the only person who sees this again after Makybe Diva. Was this another one of those moments?
No doubt. No doubt. It's a hard race to win. Although you can pull up, you know, a couple that have won it like your Kingston Towns, but it takes an absolute champion. Then you've got to hope another champion doesn't come along. I thought Ben Battle was courageous. Look, he's obviously a world-class horse. I thought that young man Murphy rode him so well. He didn't fall for the trap. Everyone had him the leader there, and all of a sudden you got D'Argento. Hello, what are you doing there? And he come back and he handled that moment so well. That Oisin Murphy. He
won 9 group. He's only young though. 9 Group 1s this season. He's ridden in Dubai, all around the world.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Like you said, he handled that very, very well because, as you say, he could have...
The champ, and I thought even when she put him away, he didn't throw it away. So he's obviously a world-class horse. Humidor was good.
What about Avilius to the Melbourne Cup?
Yeah, ticked away. There was a dead-set pass run, Mark, and so was Rostopovich. They were just tick, tick, OK, tick, overrun. But other than that, it's all about the winner, and I still think the second horse showed his class.
Yeah, just with Ryan Moore said, you know, deep field, she's a champion. I mean, it's nice to see a champion, I should say, which is... It's quite, you know, he's a man of very few words. He doesn't say a great deal. It's unusual for him to say that. And also, touch on Glenn Schofield as well. He also said, before the race, he's ridden against her so many times, I said, could he possibly beat her? You know, he's on a horse that's won 4 straight. He's never been beaten, and I know he's only stepping up for Weight for Age. And he said, not a chance.
No.
And it's just amazing that jockeys now even just say they ride against her and they see how, you know, her flying past them and her, you know, they know what they've got underneath them. And
well, I think Ryan Moore's best placed out of any jockey in the world. He is best placed
to
judge her.
I think Rainier, who's really overall got impeccable form, looks the logical one. Wild Planet, same form lines. Sakaro has to be in the mix at $13, and a bigger price for Zargos, who I think...
Racing.com crew, when it comes to his tips, but I can tell you he's got plenty of friends when it comes to the get-on army of punters, because Rainier's rock-solid favourite. His tip at $5 still. The others have been sort of starting to drift, but Rainier is now clearly the best result for our punters and the worst result for us. $6.50 for Wild Planet. White, well, Zaturi's red and white here for the Elton Zari yard. D-Lane on board. 15's into...
Ready, signal, and the Melbourne Cup Carnival underway. And on the inside, Ranier began very quickly. It's one of the initial leaders with Zargos and Wild Planet. Grim Reaper's pushing up as well, with also Sakaro. Vacillator's just behind those horses, and Quackerjack over on the outside is also pushing up. So the leader is Grim Reaper from Quackerjack and also Sakaro. Next is Wild Planet and Ranier, the inside from Vacillator at the 1,200 metres. Next in the field out wider is Zard, and Commander is at the end of the field, heading past the 900 metres, and the leader is Grim Reaper and tries to slow it down. From on the outside, Quackerjack, a length and a half away, Sakaro third. Ranier fourth, the inside is Poised, and they were followed by Wild Planet, Zargos, Mr. Exclusive. Secret Blaze, the inside, good and fast out deeper. Vacillator off the rails. Zutori is next from Sid's Coin, and they were followed by Adana, who's well back and on the rails, and Commander is last of all into the straight. As they reach the 400 metres, it's Grim Reaper, Quackerjack, Sakaro 3 deep, Zargos good and fast the outside. Wild Planet needs a run from Zutori, then Sid's Coin down the outside. Ranier at the 200 metres and Sakaro. Wild Planet's getting through from good and fast. Ranier with 100 metres to go. Wild Planet trying to pick it up. Ranier a neck. Wild Planet's digging in. Ranier still a neck. Wild Planet. Ranier holding on. Ranier has just run from Wild Planet. Third Secret Blaze from Sakaro. Then Adana and Zutori. Next Vacillator good and fast. Mr. Exclusive, Sid's Coin, Zargos. Well back in the field, Quackerjack in company then with Grim Reaper and Commander amongst the tail enders.
Oh, they've had some epic battles during the spring, Ranier and Wild Planet. Ranier comes out on top in the 58th running of the Carbine Club Stakes at Group 3 level. For James Cummings, Godolphin and Hugh Bowman in the saddle. A narrow victory over Wild Planet for Team Hawks, with Dwayne Dunn in the saddle and waiting on third to come through shortly. But that was a great tight...
Kick off the carnival in style. Gator, a lot to like about the winner, a lot to like about the runner-up, and there were some eye-catchers.
Yeah, no knock. The winner had the sweetest run in history, but I never detract away from the winner in any race. In saying that, when you have a stack of others unlucky and they crawl through the first 1,000 in 62.09, and then add to that an extremely slow mid-race sectional, it's not really a proper test, unfortunately, so just had the sweetest run, times 7. Secret Blaze was good, held up a touch through on the inside.
Drawn in one, they opened up for him there. Wild Planet was well drawn and had his chance. They've had a few duels, these two horses, and they did again yesterday. The other horse that drew well there and probably put the writing on the wall for the inside on the day here was a Secret Blaze, who's run on nicely into third. I still want to follow Andaz. He got across the fence tree back, nothing happened for him. He had to come back, had to come to the outside, and he's one that did make... Adana, I'm sorry. Adana. He's one that did make ground out wide early in the day, but look, he probably goes for a spell now, so I'd rather talk about him next prep. But all honours with Rainier, he's been good all preparation. If he did go
Darren Weir, John Allen won the Ethereal in good fashion at Caulfield. Stays at the 2000.
She's a real talent, as I said. If she relaxes in her races and she gets the right.
Then there's a definitive gap to the rest of the market. There's no money here at all for Yulong Meteor, 14 out to 26. Best result or worst result for us will still be the favourite, but your money now coming for the top weight.
It's great to catch. Signal from behind. And they're racing, and Maui Girl was one of the better ones away. Skyway Star goes back to the end with Yulong Meteor, and Sizzle Me on the inside is showing speed as well. Sizzle Me will lead from Maui Girl, and Aristia out deeper on the course. Quafila fourth, the inner, and they were followed next in the field by Sealed, who is fifth one off the fence as they head towards the 1600 metres. Eldorado Dreaming sixth, the inside, a length and a half exclusively ours, followed by Skyway Star. Very Elegant is in the back half, third last in fact. Two further back is half away. Next is Sealed, Skyway Star exclusively ours, followed by Very Elegant. Then Yulong Meteor on the fence, and at the end of the field is Thai Sonic. So Sizzle Me is the leader, heading towards the 1,000 marker by 3/4 of a length to Maui Girl. They were followed by Quafila, third the inside. They were followed by Aristia, a length and a quarter away. Eldorado Dreaming, further back is Sealed. Then Skyway Star exclusively ours from Very Elegant, who would spot the speed about 10, the favourite from Yulong Meteor and Thai Sonic. Up towards the corner, 700 metres to go. Sizzle Me gets a couple of cheap splits from Maui Girl. Aristia the outside of Quafila. Eldorado Dreaming the inside. Next in the field is Sealed, exclusively ours out deeper. Very Elegant's the widest in the red jacket from Skyway Star. Yulong Meteor. Sizzle Me up the 400 metres leads. Quafila runs up behind her. Then came Aristia the outside from Maui Girl. Very Elegant still third last. Sizzle Me at the 250. Aristia moves up on the outside at the clock tower. Aristia takes the lead from Sizzle Me. Quafila, Eldorado Dreaming. It's Aristia. 100 metres to go. Still over a length in front of Quafila, Eldorado Dreaming. And it's Aristia for the Wakeful. 3/4 second Quafila, third Eldorado Dreaming, fourth Sizzle Me. Then came Sealed and Very Elegant. Further back Thai Sonic, Skyway Star, Yulong Meteor, Maui Girl. And at the end exclusively ours.
Running of the Group 2 Moon Wakeful Stakes gives Aristia her first ever career victory at start number 10. She's run so well in so many feature fillies races over the past 12 months, and she breaks through today. Damien Lane for Matthew Ellerton and Simon Zara. She's defeated Quafila. For the Lindsay Park operation, Jim Crowley, who's run second. It's the first time Jim's been beaten since...
We're keen on Very Elegant. What did you make of her run?
She was in trouble a long way out, I thought. I was on her, but I didn't want to be on her with about 1,000 to go. She was trying to make ground, but she was in clear air, whereas at Caulfield at a previous run, she got a drag into the race. She started to race ungenerously again. So I'm just not sure with her whether she's had enough this preparation and whether she needs to go to the paddock, because this run wasn't the run of a coming Oaks winner, I didn't think.
First four here had a little margin on fifth. That fifth horse was Very Elegant, best of the closers. They all sat in the first five off a 1,400 split of 126.3. So
which is, what's that from a lengths point of view?
A couple of lengths, 2.5-ish below sort of average, but I need to line that up with Group 2 horses. Yeah. Because this is the problem with benchmark speak. There's a lot of horses that run over 2,000 metres at Flemington. Yeah. But none of it, they're not group horses, most of them. Yeah. So they're different class of horse.
Yeah, well, that's the benchmark we want to compare.
Yeah, that's right. They'll be at Monday.
Oh, sure.
Which is no help to you right now.
From the 400 to the 200, she wasn't that strong.
And Damien Lane, you know, gave Aristia a beautiful run and just got the sprint there on Quafila, who picks up for Jimmy Crowley. And watch the back of the field. Are they making enough ground to suggest... I mean, is that the sort of... Is this the Norman Robinson or Caulfield Classic sort of with the thinking big, totally different tempo, and then the horse...
5,000 lengths quicker than last year's Oaks, which they did in the Derby, so it's sort of chalk and cheese a little bit. But, look, I think the bottom line is Very Elegant is clearly, in my humble, the best filly. But if she doesn't relax for the first 1,000 metres, it's irrelevant. If she hasn't got anything in the petrol tank to finish her race off, then she can't win it.
In that market there.
Good Oaks. A good Oaks.
Talk to me, Mike. What do you like? You just...
As I said earlier, the classiest bomb-proof filly amongst that list is Amphitrite. If she can run the trip, she wins the race.
An advanced tip, Gator?
This was going to be a real short price favourite if she come through here, and very elegant, I should say, but she's just... Maybe she's too weak. Maybe she's another one that just lacks that race sense here. Look, shipping along well. Arista, a deserved win, and she's been well handled as well. Quillista will go forward. Quafila, I should say, will go forward. Eldorado Dreaming won't. That was her grand final, and she had her chance. But the story of the race is the favourite, who just didn't perform on the big stage, 24 hours before the grand final, and so she's in a bit of trouble, I think.
Yeah, I believe they're going towards it.
Thank you, Shane. Well, all of a sudden, Osborne Bulls is starting to drift, and it's only happened in the last 4 to 5 minutes. It was as low as $2.70, and it was the best back runner on the card. But it's just out to $3 in the last few minutes, so we're starting to get some money here for Winter Bride. Peter touched on Winter Bride for the Toby Edmonds camp.
Osborne Bulls, James Cummings, Hugh Bowman. He's earned top weight, covered more ground than any other rival with the Everest to finish third. First race day look at Flemington.
Yeah, and a good final 600 in that race. Probably on better ground out there where he was. But look, his forms is impeccable, this preparation. He's a real tough.
They think can really challenge Osborne Bulls in this race. So $3 the fave, and then we're at $4.60 for Hutchie's tip.
400 metres, gates are back and racing. Lanciato towards the inside, away fairly. Have a say around middle of the field out. Winter Bride began well, straight to the lead from Runson Casino Wizard, and out deeper on the track the Monstar Sosi Bon. Further back is Lope DiCaprio, and they were followed by Miss Rock tucking in behind those horses as they complete the first 300 metres of the race. Further back is Savannah Moore, who's in the back half, and also Osborne Bulls is back with her. Towards the end of the field now is Lanciato and Bonds away. So towards the course proper at the 650. Winter Bride in front of the Monstar, Runson behind those. Then Casino Wizard further back in the field. Then along the inside is Have a Say, and then came Lope DiCaprio and Miss Rock. Sosi Bon in that group from Savannah Moore. Osborne Bulls third last from Lanciato, and Bonds away. 300 metres to go. It's the Monstar taking the lead from Winter Bride, then Runson. Have a Say. Sosi Bon up the middle. Savannah Moore and Osborne Bulls down the outside. It is the Monstar at the 200 metres, a length and a half. Runson, Osborne Bulls and Bonds away, running on the Monster, getting tired. Here's Osborne Bulls now, descends, and Osborne Bulls has won it. 3/4 of a length, Bonds away, or Runson, and then the Monstar. Further back, Lanciato, Miss Rock, Savannah Moore, Sosi Bon. Then came Le Cordon Bleu, Have a Say, Lope DiCaprio, Winter Bride, and Casino Wizards.
Osborne Bulls has proven far too good. Hugh Bowman and James Cummings for Godolphin strike for the second time today, defeating Bonds away, who's come from the clouds to run a closing second. Kieran Maher, David Eustace, Michael Walker in the saddle, and Runson for...
Yeah, great performance under the weight, conceding it to the field, and well, he just knows how to win this horse, doesn't he? That's his 9th victory now from 14 starts. He loomed, of course, with Bonds away to the outside, and Runson off heels back towards the...
And Matty just flopped out of the gates here, did Osborne, after running third in the Everest?
Yes, Winter Bride went to the front. Runson, who'd broken the track record at Moonee Valley at the start prior, sat just off them, and there's Osborne Bulls just a little bit detached at the back there in the Godolphin Blue, but stormed to the post. How did this go statistically, Gator?
About 3 or 4 lengths slower than the Coolmore, and they didn't go hard in that.
Gee, so that makes it a good win then.
Terrific win. And he had 59 as well, remember? Ooh. And he still had to accelerate, run over the top of them. It's just a good horse. His worst career run, inverted commas, is a Group 1 fifth, and he was the best closer in that race. He is a ripper, too good for them. Look, in saying that, Runson, who was a query for mine on the back up, given he's got a history of a flat run after a peak run, I don't think that's the way to ride him. I think you've got to use his speed earlier than that, but when Winter Bride crossed, they sort of just took their medicine. He still ran really well. The Monstar's good for wetter. Bonds Away's running on very well also, but had the weight advantage and just not winning.
Osborne Bulls, would you back him up, Mike? If
certainly
you
would love to own him, wouldn't you? I mean, he's had 14 starts for 9 wins. He's just a model of consistency, left-handed, right-handed, wet, dry. You know, he's a terrific racehorse. He's probably got more to come, I would have thought.
And you referenced Tom Cruise earlier in Top Gun.
I'd fence, and here it is coming to win a Group 2 down the straight at Flemington.
Well, class prevailed, didn't it? It's as simple as that. He had 59 kilos here. He got squeezed out at the start. The leaders were off and gone. The Monstar there, the Kosciuszko
form.
Yeah, but the Everest form reigned supreme. Down the outside here, bang. big weight, overcome a little bit of difficulties there, and he's just low flying. Look at Lanciato flying home there late. He dry tracks his go, and if he just would have got that little bit more pressure on up front there, he may have made that interesting, Lanciato. But he's a good horse. He's a good horse.
He is a very good horse. He's got an electric turn of foot over, you know, sort of any of his opposition that he's faced against, and he's performed at the top level now, and that was sort of almost a given, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the way that he was so well placed.
Arrogant.
Bonds away, I thought was really good from back.
Above. At the moment, the sun is beating the clouds in the weather stakes on Amy Derby Day. Hutchie,
and when we looked at the market on before the first this morning, it was Jarmay versus a Prince of Arran. But, well, you can introduce Brimham Rocks, because now it's just a battle in 3. In fact, Brimham Rocks is your equal favourite at $4.40 with a Prince of Arran. So they're both there at $4.40, which just means Jarmay's just gone out to $4.60.
A Prince of Arran from the middle, jumped away fairly and has been dug along the first 50 yards. Rising Red began well on the outside of Soul Impact. Northwest Passage out deeper, and then came a Prince of Arran, who's going to settle right behind them, 2 lengths away in 4th place. About 3 lengths away, Brimham Rocks, Jarmay and Tally, and then 60s Groove, Gallic Chieftain. Well back in the field is the Bolter Ladies First, and Yogi is at the end. Out of the straight towards the riverside, 2,100 metres to go, and is the Japanese horse Soul Impact the leader by the end, heading towards Chiquita Lodge at the 1,200 metres. Soul Impact the grey by 2 lengths. Second is Northwest Passage, a similar gap to Rising Red. A length away, Jarmay, 4th on the rails, and then came a Prince of Arran. A length and a half to 60s Groove and Brimham Rocks, and then Gallic Chieftain Ladies First. Second last as Tally would spot the speed about 12 to 15, and Yogi is at the end. So it's Soul Impact, every possible chance in front. Heading towards the 850, 3/4 Northwest Passage, getting a bit closer. A length away is Rising Red, and then came Jarmay, who's bailed away on the fence. A Prince of Arran in plenty of air, out 3 deep, tracked by Brimham Rocks. Also Gallic Chieftain out deeper. Jarmay sticks to the inside, just needs a run now approaching the turn. Well back as Tally, Ladies First and Yogi into the straight at the 500 metres. It's Soul Impact with on the outside Northwest Passage a half away. Rising Red 3 deep. Jarmay needs some luck. A Prince of Arran to the middle from Gallic Chieftain, followed by Brimham Rocks. 100. A Prince of Arran lets down on the outside and takes the lead from Northwest Passage. Then Brimham Rocks, Gallic Chieftain. A Prince of Arran with 150 metres to go from Brimham Rocks, Jarmay, Gallic Chieftain. A Prince of Arran, Brimham Rocks wearing it down. A Prince of Arran, a half. Brimham Rocks, a Prince of Arran's in the cup. Beats Brimham Rocks, 3rd Jarmay, 4th in the race Gallic Chieftain, followed further back by Ladies First, a big run the Bolter. Then Rising Red, Northwest Passage, Gallic Chieftain, Tally, 60s Groove, Yogi, and Soul Impact got tired and finished last.
Charlie Fellows has got his first Lexus Melbourne Cup runner as a Prince of Arran takes out the Lexus Stakes for Michael Walker, and it enhances the Yucatan form coming through the Herbert Power. That was a tough staying performance. Holding on to defeat Brimham Rocks, Chris Waller and James McDonald. Got within a half length of him on the line, and 3rd has gone the way of Jarmay for the Lindsay Park team, Mark Zara.
Especially, he's done well, Chrissy, because I actually hit the front too early, but nothing was taking me into the race. And as you know, in those staying races and these European horses, they keep going. So I was pretty strong at the finish, and I'm looking forward to Tuesday. I've got a ride now, and hopefully it continues.
We're in the Cup.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What a ride. What a ride.
It was a great ride, and what a ride for you as a young man in his early 30s. He's been out here to Australia. You've tasted the Cup, and now you've got a runner.
Yeah. Plans don't often come off like they did there, but look, he's been in great form. He's travelled over here so well. The girl that's leading him up, Natasha, has done the most unbelievable job with him all year, even from the beginning in Dubai. I can't believe we're in the big one on Tuesday.
What will it mean to you to have a runner, let alone, I mean, did you dare to dream? I mean, could you win the Cup?
Look, this was our derby. This was the race that we needed to win. Anything from now on is a bonus. We'll freshen him up. Hopefully he comes out of it good.
It's a little bit in him early, Gated. Get him into that position. Right here, you're thinking you have every possible chance to win your way into the Cup.
Spot on. The only box left to be ticked from this point, if you're watching it live, is just got to be good enough. And he was, with his 57.5. Of course, he closed off really well in the Herbert Power. Was on the heels of Yucatan, the favourite. Gets a 2.5 kilo swing into Tuesday. And what he has got over a lot of the field on Tuesday is he's proven at the trip. There's so many of these, including the favourite, Yucatan, who is unknown at 3,200. So that adds another dimension. He's in the game somewhere.
And the thing I love about him, he's tough. He ran it.
Draw is he's thrashed Jamay here. Jamay crossed the line with Avilius, another horse who is in the betting at the pointy end of a Melbourne Cup.
But he was also thrashed himself by Magic Circle in the Chester Cup. Got 9 lengths. So he's put pay to them yesterday, and it was a really strong staying performance. But I just wonder whether this is the B-grade form. What about the C-grade form?
What about Chris Waller? He's brought Brim and Rocks out here, and Frank Cook and all the owners. They've been runner-up in the Kingston Town, runner-up in the Metrop, runner-up in the Herbert Power, runner-up in the Lexus. Miss out in a run.
Every chance here, though. He tracked that winner everywhere.
Absolutely.
He wasn't good enough, but not by a long way.
Yeah, he got pretty close. And Chris Waller said afterwards that although he's really disappointed that they're not going to be able to contest the Melbourne Cup on Tuesday, that it's not too disappointing because there's always the autumn, there's always next year for this horse. So they know they've got a horse that can hopefully make the grade, and he'll hopefully do it in time.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want...
Forced his way into the Melbourne Cup, so let's have a look at Prince of Arran, denying Brim and Rocks and Jamay.
He's not a bad horse, this fella. He'll run well in the Cup. Kept chipping away there. I'll tell you one thing, he looked well, and I think he'll back up well. Just query is, what sort of track are we working with come Cup Day here? You know, it all depends what weather forecast you're looking at. Don't know whether this horse has got much wet form to work with. Oh, look, Brim and Rocks has been terrific all the way through with no luck there, and the third horse battled on quite well there. So, usually I say they're just the battlers, but he'll run all right in the Cup because there's a long tail in this Cup.
Does it make the Yucatan form look superior?
Yep.
With Brim and Rocks as well. I mean, it was a sprint home, that race. Again, slow and then sprint home.
Zusain, written by in Sunlight. Zusain has always just been holding that favouritism over the last sort of 2 or 3 hours at $3.90. Written by is there at $4.20. Sunlight at $4.80. Sort of got down as low as $3.80 Sunlight, but back out to $4.80. But those three have dominated. And as I mentioned a couple of times today,
I just love that run in the Golden Rose. I thought that was the run that I wanted to follow going to this race. I'm not going to waver. I think Sunlight, she's a talent. She'll run well.
And Matt All with Zusain, Shane with Diplomatico. Jane, your McCafe.
Now straight. $3.60 Zusain. It's won the battle. Let's be very clear. There's a battle between the top three, and Zusain has won that battle at $3.60. Written by at $4. Sunlight, the 5 I mentioned.
Well, Sunlight is the only filly taking on the boys here in the Group 1 Coolmore Stud Stakes, trained by Tony McAvoy. Tony, you've done a phenomenal...
Racing in the Coolmore. And Written By was one of the best to begin with Sunlight. They both began brilliantly and land a length and a half in front of Zusain and also Lean Mean Machine. Caesar just behind those horses from Longleaf, followed by Diplomatico. Then Pequiri, Thorondor second last on the inside of Encryption. So they head down now towards the 850 metres and they're marginally off the inside running rail. It's Written By in front by 3/4 of a length. 2 in second, Sunlight. Third, the inside Lean Mean Machine. And then came Zusain, who's fourth, one off the fence. Longleaf tucked away the inside in the dark blue. They were followed by Caesar and then Pequiri, Thorondor, Diplomatico and Encryption. Onto the course proper at the 450. And it's Written By in front. Childs hasn't moved. 3/4 Sunlight. Lean Mean Machine back to the inside. Then came Zusain out wider as they sprint up from Longleaf. Written By at the 250. Zusain out wider as they sprint up from Longleaf. Written By at the 250, joined by Sunlight, Lean Mean Machine the inside, and then Zusain. Written By Sunlight. Zusain coming at them. Sunlight the filly at the 50, just in front. Zusain coming at her. Sunlight the filly, she's a star. Sunlight beats Zusain, Lean Mean Machine, or Written By, then Encryption, Caesar, Longleaf, then Diplomatico, Pequiri and Thorondor.
The 50th running of the Group 1 Coolmore Stud Stakes goes to the only filly in the race, Sunlight. Luke Curry, Tony McAvoy in a brave performance up on speed. She's held off the fast closing Zusain for Chris Waller and James McDonald. Not much between them on the line, but the filly's done enough to win. with Lean Mean Machine and also Written By up close. What a race it was, but the one filly in the race, Clint, was too good.
The right names were fighting out the finish though, weren't they? And they were all there with their opportunity to win. We had Zeus saying
Star filly for Tony McAvoy. Sunlight joins that list. That is now her 8th victory from 12 career starts with 3 further placings. She has been an outstanding prospect from the get-go, this daughter of Zeus Star out of the charge forward mare Solar Charge. Bred by...
To win a Derby Day, so to do it in a Coolmore's pretty exciting.
This horse has been so good to you. Obviously you couldn't ride her last start. A lot of things went wrong, but she didn't have your weight. But to get back on today, obviously you were just wrapped.
Yeah, she was no fault of anyone's last time. She just stepped slow and ended up in an awkward spot. I was pretty glad that I wasn't on her back when she stepped slow like she did, but she flew out today, and I wasn't sure whether I'd lead Written By or it'd lead us, and he was quite quick too, and she come back off it and relaxed. She just on the buckle through the run, and I knew she was going to be strong when she hadn't spent any petrol, sort of getting to the 4-500.
Well done,
no one would give you more satisfaction than that.
No, Richo, wow. You know, it was a big call to take these colts on with this filly, but look, I've got such faith in her, and you know, she was there for the fight today, and those colts had their chance to get her. She's a courageous superstar, and couldn't be more proud of her.
That's right, she shows speed.
Filly, she is Sunlight. That win today has taken her overall career prize money level to just under $3 million, and that is only from 12 starts with 8 wins. Of course, winning a Magic Millions as a 2-year-old, coming back to win this Group 1 contest, the Coolmore Stud Stakes.
As we 4 very good 3-year-olds fight out the finish there. Sunlight, the lone filly in the field, she held the boys off and did herself proud off that unlucky run in the Manikato. It was a superb performance. Zusain had his chance to run her down, but just wasn't quite good enough to nail her. Written By left a bit of a sitting duck in front, but we knew that's where he was going to be, and Lean Mean Machine back to the inside. They put a bit of a gap on the others, and outside of the autumn sun, and probably, you know, 1,000 to 1,400, these 4 horses are probably the dominant sprinting 3-year-olds, you would suggest, and they'll all be placed to advantage. You know, certainly the winner, and I think Written By, they're probably going to be competitive in our big sprint Triple Crown here as 3-year-olds in the autumn. And the other...
Written By and Gator, what about from a tempo point of view? Did you want to be on those horses right there on speed?
Yeah, clearly. So they're at 35.59 the first 600. So lining that up with last year, Invincible Star went out about 34.4, so would have led the field, you know, about 7 lengths. And Merchant Navy, of course, produced an outstanding finale to win that race. His overall time last year was 19.1. This year, 18.72. Look, I know it was a faster day, but that is significantly quicker despite a 7-length slower first 600. So there's a lot potting this group, but on this performance, they've scooted home in proper time. And Sunlight, who arguably should have won a Group 1 against the older males, ran well. And then the 3rd horse had form around Graffy Remmel and Everest.
And then Zusain, Written By Sunlight. Zusain coming at them. Sunlight the filly at the 50, just in front. Zusain coming at her. Sunlight the filly, she's a star. Sunlight beats Zusain. Lean Mean Machine.
You're dead right, Maddie. She is a star. Zustar sires 1st, 2nd and 3rd in a Group 1, which is extraordinary. Zustar himself winning the race. And Zustar's dad winning the race, and his grandfather winning the race.
And it's his first crop as well, so it's an amazing achievement to have the trifecta in your first crop, having won the race yourself.
It is. Look at those names. So Zustar wins it, Northern Meteor wins it, and Costa Lago wins it, and now Sunlight wins it. So the 4th filly since it's become a Group 1 to be able to win the race, and no knock on those in and around Gator. When I saw Lean...
His sections were terrific. Caesar's the other horse will make it. Just staying at 1,200, the sprint went on, he was left floundering. He's just looking for ground. He'd be like a really nice horse, that thing.
Any crosses at all? Are they all...
Hugh Bowman, Lean Mean Machine.
Yeah, very proud of his effort. No excuses. He'll be a great horse next year.
Breton.
A very good horse in Written By there, and they went out hard. They got a rest for about 150 metres, but geez, if you see the overhead shot of this race where these two stablemates, Lean Mean Machine and Zusain, just stalked those two leaders, you couldn't have put enough money on Zusain at the 150 metre mark. So she pulled out so much courage there over the last 100 metres, and obviously it's been well documented she was unlucky in the Manikato. Well, didn't get her opportunity in the Manikato Stakes, but she got a big win there, and what a big trifecta for Zeus Star there. 1, 2, 3. Maybe the big colt didn't win the race, but they still had some bragging rights winning there, that's for sure.
On that, Sunlight wins the Coolmore by Zeus Star. And Zeus Star's by Northern Meteor, he won the Coolmore. By Costa del Lago, who won the Ascot Vale, which was a Group 2, which is now the Coolmore.
Yeah. Wow, yeah.
So it's got some...
All the way down the family.
All the way down the family.
Yeah, so I thought Geordie Childs rode a really good race because there wasn't any bearing on it.
You never know.
Superficial, so probably not.
All I know is the best horse won that race because they all had their opportunity, the top 4, and they're 4 pretty sharp sprinters, but I was...
Race number 6, the Empire Rose, and it's the first leg of the quaddie, and it's been touched on earlier today. It's a difficult start to the quaddie, but it's $4.60 the field. Amphitrite, so impressive in winning the 1,000 guineas. He's your favourite. Starting to get some money, though, for Uhud. The stable having a purple patch with a win in Adelaide, and, of course, Sunlight winning the last. So Uhud is into $7.50. Shillelagh there so at the same price. I'm a Star out to 11. Invincibella, $7.50 out to 11. Aloysia is a bit of a drifter, which surprises me.
All clear given. And the big field away. Eckstein on the inside, one of the better ones to begin with. Shamook as Temple of Bell drops out to the end. Fundamentalist showing speed from the deep, is charging over as well. Also probing up on the inside is Eckstein. So the leader is Shamook from Fundamentalist and also Eckstein. And they were followed by I Am a Star, Bella Martini, Hood and Seabrook. A length away, Invincible Gem. And next in the field is Amphitrite, Bring Me Roses, Aloysia. And then came along the inside Shillelagh from Invincibella. Well back in the field then is Cadnedna, La Bella Diosa and Temple of Bell. So the leader is Shamook at the 1,000 metres by 3/4 of a length. 2 on the outside, Fundamentalist. 2 lengths to Eckstein, who is third the inside of I Am a Star. Bella Martini in 5th. The Hood next the inside from Seabrook and Invincible Gem. A length and a half, Amphitrite, who's about 9th, bailed away on the inside of Bring Me Roses. Aloysia's 3 back on the 3 wide train from Shillelagh, Invincibella, Cadnedna. Then La Bella Diosa and Temple of Bell is at the end of the field. Around the turn in the Group 1, 500 to go. Shamook, Fundamentalist out 3 deep. I Am a Star, Bella Martini 4 deep. Hood is poised behind those horses, needing some luck from Invincible Gem, and then Seabrook, and next Bring Me Roses. Amphitrite trying to get through the pack. Shamook, Fundamentalist at the 250 with I Am a Star, Bella Martini. Hood's desperately trying to get a run. Seabrook, Shillelagh's weaving through too. Right across the track, Fundamentalist with Shillelagh up on the inside, then Bella Martini. Shillelagh blew the whistle, drove through, and Shillelagh took off. One by a length and a quarter, Fundamentalist or Bring Me Roses, then a wall. Bella Martini was prominent with also there Seabrook, Invincible Gem. Next in the field was Invincibella, Eckstein or Hood, Temple of Bell. Behind those, Cadnedna, Amphitrite, Shamook, then Aloysia, La Bella Diosa, I Am a Star dropped out.
Chris Waller wins his second Empire Rose with Shillelagh proving far too good, and what a special bear she's been. 12 months ago she won the Group 1 Cantala against the boys on this day, and she's produced a brilliant performance to take out today's victory in the Empire Rose. Too good Shillelagh. James McDonald, he wins his first Empire Rose. Tight for the minors here. We've got the likes of 8 Bring Me Roses.
You know what, you gave this horse the peach. Yeah, I'll take a little bit of credit for that one, but it's great how it all worked out. She was travelled so beautifully in behind them, and it's probably 5th back the fence. And I had to get a little bit of luck throughout the run, and she got that and she burst through, and I was on the right horse, well trained.
And that'll give you a lot of satisfaction. Yeah, but I'm half Australian now, I guess.
We claim you, don't worry about that. You're our Farlap.
No, we're very proud of the New Zealand heritage, obviously. Yeah, it was a good win, and I can't wait to see it on the helicopter view. It must have been some brave ride to get through there. James just went back and bided his time, and yeah, I just closed my eyes at the 300-metre mark, hoping for the best, and the best came. So that's racing. It can deliver you some highs and lows. I've been the biggest sook of all today, running a couple of seconds. Thought it was the end of the world on the back of last week, and then 30 minutes later you're winning a Group 1 race. So I'm very fortunate to be in the position I am with beautiful horses, good staff.
Chapada unlucky, and then he was runner. That's right. And Amphitrite, anyone who backed Amphitrite, please look away now because that won't be pleasant. Let's have a pick up Matty Hill's call and watch.
A star, Bella Martini, Hood's desperately trying to get a run. Seabrook, Shillelagh's weaving through too. Right across the track, Fundamentalist with Shillelagh up on the inside, then Bella Martini. Shillelagh blew the whistle, drove through, and Shillelagh took it. Won it by a length and a quarter. Fundamentalist or Bring Me Roses, then a wall.
Well, it was a race that changed complexion in the last 400 metres. A huge tick to James McDonald. Well done. What a remarkable record. He's won more Group 1s at the same age than Damien Oliver, who's in the Hall of Fame. We know how talented he is. That was brilliant, but, Mike, there was a lot of hard luck stories behind.
Yeah, I mean, Amphitrite, Dean Yendall just seemed to want to get off the fence probably prematurely, whereas J-Mac was happy to sit behind and just wait and see what opened up. And, you know, Dean Yendall made the choice to edge wide, and J-Mac just sat and waited, and eventually the Chris Waller to bring up his ton and then onto the 200s the way he's tracking at the moment.
What about this Forgive file? It'll be massive, Gator.
Yeah, it's massive. It's a bit Valley-esque, wasn't it? She's in good company there with Divine Madonna, Tia Shillelagh, winning this race off the back of the win against the males in Group 1 the year before. But this was messy. 61 and change first 1,000, as referenced, about 14. Shillelagh's a ripper. Bring Me Roses going well. Flemington 2,000 metres. Fundamentalist gets a tick. Bella Martini wide, no cover. Gee, she was brave. Temple of Bell back from the gate. Sectional star. She'll head to the 2,000 metres, I think. And Amphitrite and a Hood both get the ticks. I can't say conclusive.
Months ago, won on this day. She won a Group 1. She won the Kennedy Mile. Well, this year she wins the Empire Rose.
Yeah, isn't she a beauty as well? And may have been a lucky win. Like, he rode the fence all day and sometimes without luck, McDonald, but he certainly got it here. He had the 2-3-year-olds in front of him there who peeled off the fence in a Hood and Amphitrite, and it just turned very ugly for them. And she was so lucky with Shamook coming, getting tired, but she squeezed her through there. It was absolutely brilliant in the finish, and she was too good. I think the story, it will Bring Me Roses, was good there, and obviously Fundamentalist has hung on well. But the story of the race is these 2-3-year-olds, Hood, blue hat, yellow sleeves, and outside her in the blue, dark blue, light blue there, Amphitrite. I think she would have won if she would have got out and with momentum. I know she's only had a 1,400, a mile and a mile. I don't know if she goes to the Oaks, but if she does, she'll be carrying my money no matter what distance, because she settles and she can sprint, and that was just a barrier trial there.
Yeah, I think if she had have...
Welcome back. It's time for the main event, the VRC Derby, and what a betting race this is turning out to be. Thinking big. At the moment, it's the second best back runner of the day. Just when we thought it was going to go out in the market, it comes back in, and some of our bigger punters and some of our better punters have decided it's the horse to beat. So got out to as much as $3.50 actually, thinking big, and now it's back to $3. $6 Arameo, just starting to get a bit of a drift, but then there's a gap to Stars of Karam, which got in as low as $8 earlier in the week. Now that's back out to $10. Sawai out to $13. $13 for Rook.
Big races, getting reasonable odds about each of those, 15 and 12. It's been an interesting sort of last hour or two of betting, hasn't it? Thinking big.
Back runner with Bet Easy for the day. So it's the hope for the punters today. They're really keen on thinking big. It's rock solid at $3. Arameo still there at $6. No.
And Sikorsky from barrier number 5, one of the better ones away. Savioke is going to drop back. Farouk is driving up on the inside with Thinkin' Big. Almost 7 across the track at the post, and there's Severate charging over. Wants a piece of the action. Also up there, Savoir, Tolmac and Louis the Legend. Thinkin' Big's in a bit of a scrimmage there. Then Sikorsky and Farouk on the inside. A length and a half away next is Home Ground and Chapada from Mickey Blue Eyes, Stars of Karam. Behind those horses, Grinzinger Star, Arameo, Savioke, and then came Vazal, and at the end is Extra Brute, heading towards the 1,800 metre marker, and it's on the inside, Severate leading Louis the Legend, Tolmac 3 deep, a length away, Savoir 4th on the fence. Next in the field, one off there is Thinkin' Big, getting a nice run on the outside group as Grinzinger Star and then Extra Brute and Vazal. So approaching the 1,300 metre marker. And the leader is Separate and is going to keep them running by 2 lengths to Tolmac. A couple of lengths away, Savoir third on the fence, followed by Louis the Legend. A length and a half away, Farouk and Thinkin' Big. And this leader, Separate, stringing them out. It's now 4 lengths in front at Chiquita Lodge. So with about 1,100 metres to go, Separate about 3 or 4, Tolmac. Then Savoir on the fence from Louis the Legend at the 1,000 metres. This is going to be a stamina sapping derby. Thinkin' Big next the outside, followed by Farouk. A gap Sikorsky and then Chapada, home ground. Arameo next along the inside, Mickey Blue Eyes, Stars of Karam from Extra Brute. And then came Savvy Oak. Well back in the field, Grinzinger Star and Bazal. Coming up towards the turn at the 600 metres. Separate felt for with on the outside Tolmac. Here they come now. Farouk out deeper on the track with Thinkin' Big, who presents to the middle of the track. Then Louis the Legend to the outside, Sikorsky. Extra Brute's running on now, and Arameo's tracking him across the track at the 300. Sikorsky goes to the lead, but here's Extra Brute. Extra Brute takes the lead from Sikorsky. Then home ground, Stars of Karam running on from Arameo. It's Extra Brute at the 150, necking to fight. Stars of Karam coming out after him. Extra Brute a length and a quarter. He's brave, he's strong, he wins the derby. Extra Brute from Stars of Karam. 2 lengths, Chapada third, 4th Sikorsky, followed by home ground Arameo, Savvy Oak, Vazal, Mickey Blue Eyes, Farouk, Grinzinger Star, Thinkin' Big, a gap Tolmac, then Savoir, a long gap Separate, and Louis the Legend at the end of the field.
The 164th running of the Amy Victoria Derby goes to Darren Weir and John Allen with Extra Brute proving far too good, winning his 4th race from 6 career starts and the most important of his career for this summer doomsday. Spicer Thoroughbreds and Aquis Farm. Aquis only bought into the horse recently and they've been rewarded in spades. An outstanding winner of the Derby, defeating Stars of Karam, last week's Vars winner. He's run terrifically well for Robbie Lang and Ben Mellum. And third has gone to Chapada for Mike Moroney and James McDonald. 3, 4.
It was an interesting race because the pressure was on early. That first 400 or 500 metres, and the favourite was part of it. It was quite telling in the end. But Extra Brute back to Flemington. Kept the powder dry until late in the race, but he was as impressive today as I thought he was. Really a couple of starts back, and the runner-up Stars of Karam was very good too. But Extra Brute, I think, at the very...
This is what everyone wants to win, and you've done it.
Yeah, look, unreal. All credit to the horse. Obviously, it was disappointing the last day, but geez, he won good today. Got a long way back, and we got on the back of the Godolphin horse early, which I thought was a good horse to bring us into the race, but he was gone to 600 and had to peel off his back, and geez, he rounded him up in a matter of strides, and ended up being in front too soon. But look, he was tough, he held on well, and yeah, unbelievable.
This is probably your biggest...
He can hardly believe this. You've won a lot of races, but this one gives you extra satisfaction.
Yeah, it certainly does. Real team effort, I guess, you know. Great that the owners stuck solid with Johnny. Yeah, he showed you what class of rider he is. I don't have to speak about him anymore. So, but it's just a big thrill to be able to, you know, win a Victorian Derby.
With the Irish jumps jockey that you had faith in, you introduced us to Australia.
Affordable. Whether, you know, obviously the money side of it, if you got 100% it's great, but if you got 1% or 100%, you still get the same enjoyment out of it. That's what you see here.
We just spoke to Dan Clohessy. He's here with his family.
We had him in the right shape, but look, we come here hoping, really.
Johnny, as the tempo kept building and building throughout the race, when did you start getting confident?
Yeah, look, once we kind of went down the back and he got in a good rhythm, I was pretty happy where I was. Obviously, as I said, I thought I was on the back of the right horse. As we approached probably the 800 metre mark, I was still travelling real easy, and I could see Ty kind of feeling for his horse a little bit, so I elected to come out and come around him, and I probably pressed the button maybe a fraction too early because I didn't want to get flushed too wide, and next minute I landed in front nearly at the 2 furlong pole, so I was thinking, geez, I got there a bit soon, but look, fair play to the horse. He was tough, and I suppose a high-pressure race like that, it's all about keeping your momentum intact. So but we were able to probably roll into the race at the right time, and the horse done the rest.
Darren, a big stud deal was done, Aquas Farm buying into him only this week. That's an extra bit of pressure going onto your shoulders into the Derby when you know you've got a good horse, but then a deal gets done with significant value.
Yeah, I guess you know, obviously when they're sold to those sort of people, you want them to run well, and for them to win, it's even better, I guess. They're big.
Dean Yendall, Savoy.
Happy early, probably didn't back up after last week.
Corey Parrish, Separate.
Yeah, look, it was a good run from the wide gate. I had to go forward, and with nothing actually going, it left me in front, which made it a bit hard for me. So, all honesty, it was pretty good considering I had to do the majority of it.
Tolmac. James McDonald, Chapata.
He's a star in the making, that horse. It's just not there yet, but it's got any amount of ability and should have won today.
Luke Nolan, Tim Clark, Thinking Big.
Yeah, plenty of pressure on early. I thought he got into a nice spot. But never travelled as comfortable today. Maybe he's come to the end of his prep.
Be a more mature horse next time around.
Ben Mellum, Stars of Carrum.
Had his chance, good tough effort. Not a bloody second.
Regan Bayliss, Mickey Blue Eyes.
Yeah, a bit of a checkered passage, could never really sort of flow into the race, so I'd figured that one.
Hugh Bowman.
Aquas are big investors in our industry, and Mr. Fung bought into the horse, so it was great for them too.
And for Darren Weir, his very first runner in a derby is a winner. I mean, that's an extraordinary stat when you think that he's what he's doing with his team. And by gee, it was on early, and then it went to another level.
Yeah, look, it was nothing short of fearsome. 127.88, in fact, first 1,400. So as referenced, they would have been leading the Lexus field by about 22 lengths with 900 metres to run, which is mind-boggling. Last year's Derby wasn't run at a brutal speed. Ace High won that, of course. They were about 26 or 27 lengths quicker than last year. So overall time, very fast, but that's all set up by the speed, 2:34.31 on a fast day. All these runners back in the field run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Wow.
First 8 home.
That is extraordinary. So we're looking for the light blue colours sitting third or fourth last.
You know, Weary was sort of in the background and Johnny sort of took the front stage, so it's great to see that. And it's a big team effort. You know, Johnny does all the track work up there, and if you talk to Darren, he says he's the best horseman he's ever worked with. So, you know, you get great confidence from Darren.
Obviously, the winner was terrific. Stars of Carrum terrific as well. I think Chapata probably should have gone close, and he's an exciting horse too.
That's right. He was held up.
Exciting horse too.
That's right. He was held up, and James McDonald after the race, he and Mike Moroney, it was like walking around just thinking what could have been. He had
the purple-white stars there, and he got held up badly, Chapilco, and he missed the fly. It's hard to say if he would have won the race or not, but boy, he should have went pretty close. And listening to reading a few comments from McDonald after the race, he was adamant that he should have gone close. That Stars of Carrum was pretty good there as well. I think his trouble is finding a race long enough for him. He could be a cup sort of horse next year. And the story was the race was this favourite, Thinking Big. He was touched up early. I thought Timmy Clark made the right moves handing up the lead. He seemed to be travelling on the point of the turn, and I think, honestly, I just have to mark him disappointing.
Yeah, Tim Clark said that he was at the end of his preparation, so maybe that was what happened there. But also there was a lot of pressure on. So
the new colours there, they're becoming a big player in the big business here. This Aquas Farm, they brought into the Derby winner there, and there's
Michael Walker was the new jockey for Aquas.
Yeah, obviously they booked their jockeys before the change.
Well, on Tuesday
maybe
they bought
he can claim
into
his fee there, being the change.
Maybe
the new jockey.
Best of Days 10, Peaceful State 11. You've got Cliff's Edge at 12, and then you've got Sir Coney 13, and then as you can see there's not much between those, with Cedric Quebec in the top 8 getting that to $14. So Land of Plenty is your favourite in the Kennedy Mile in a fairly open race, and it's the last chance.
Crew, haven't they? And they've got a great chance again. I think Weary holds the keep. I think Land of Plenty will be hard to beat. But I think Parast at $60 or wherever he is well over the odds. Sakonia run well. Noir doesn't end there. There are a host of chances.
Well, you've got a backing chorus in Ben beat 1,000 on Hartnell, but just pushed it out to $7, so happy to lay it because Land of Plenty's come back in to $4.40. But those two really do dominate the betting, especially when it comes to the bigger bets in this race. They've got a fair percentage of our total market. Sakoni's been a move here, though. It was sort of down to 11, up to 12, now back into 10, so a bit of a watch for us. Hey, that's a bit big for this horse. Let's get back to $13, as is Cedric Quebec and Best of Days, just out a couple of turns to $13. Land of Plenty, though.
And they're racing. Coming through away very well. Peaceful State out quickly, and Sir Coney bounced out well with Hartnell and Parast the outside, and also Cliff's Edge is showing speed. Coming through will settle just behind them. Tom Melbourne surges up out deeper on the track as well. Pretty keen early, heading towards the 1,200 metres. Sir Coney leads from Parast and Cliff's Edge, and they were followed by Tom Melbourne, Hartnell. Best of Days next, the inside from Le Remain, and then came Iconoclasm, and coming through two further back in the field, settling down is Noir, and then came Peaceful State and Mr. Seawolf from Land of Plenty. Life Less Ordinary. Well back is Fastnet Tempest, and Siege of Quebec is at the end. To the side of the track at the 900 metres, it's Parast in front by 3/4 of a length. Tom Melbourne, 2 lengths Cliff's Edge, Sir Coney, followed by Hartnell in a lovely place, about 5 off the lead. 2 lengths Le Remain, Best of Days, then Iconoclasm, and then coming through on the inside from Noir. Back in the field, Peaceful State, and then Mr. Seawolf. Land of Plenty with a bit to do from Life Less Ordinary, Fastnet Tempest, and Siege of Quebec into the straight now. 400 metres to go. Tom Melbourne and Parast, the outside Cliff's Edge. Sir Coney on the rails. Further back is Hartnell, who presents to the middle with Le Remain down the outside. Cliff's Edge at the 250 with Le Remain. Best of Days is weaving through, and now Land of Plenty descending. Le Remain at the 100 from Best of Days. Peaceful State's getting through. Le Remain and Best of Days. Best of Days drives at Le Remain. Best of Days has won it from Le Remain. Peaceful State for fourth. Land of Plenty or Life Less Ordinary. Then came Iconoclasm, Noir. Well back in the field, coming through. Cliff's Edge got tied. Hartnell, Fastnet Tempest, Siege of Quebec, Mr. Seawolf, Tom Melbourne, Parast and Sir Coney.
Craig Williams at his best. He wins his 6th Group 1 during a Melbourne Cup Carnival as he guides the James Cummings train Best of Days to victory here in the Group 1 Kennedy Mile, the 100th running of the race, registered as the Cantala, defeating Le Remain, who won this race 2 years ago. Coming off a close-up effort in the Everest, he's gone terrifically well under his big weight, and Peaceful State flashing late in the piece to grab third for Darren Weir. Ben Allen in the saddle, but 17.
From admittedly a beautiful gate, but we talked about trying to emulate the Shalala ride from earlier in the day, and he did that perfectly in the last 200 metres.
You put the blinkers on, that was, and then 2,000 metres back to 1,600 metres. Gee, a piece of work during the week. Said you made the right move there.
Oh, he just had galloped better than he galloped all preparation. I was very confident the horse was capable of running well.
100 metres, 2 Godolphin horses in the race. He wore the white cap because the old Marvel Hartnell was in the all blue. Gator, let's go through the race from a form and speed point of view. Le Remain's just camped behind the leaders.
Yeah, that's right, out 58.61 first 1,000 here. So they would have been leading the Maya field by about 14 lengths with 600 to run. So a good solid clip, as you expect from Group 1 horses. Best of Days had the sweet run, no weight. Travelled up well, probably advantaged by being held up a touch because they were able to accelerate late and beat Le Remain, who had the big weight penalty, of course. Peaceful State, very good. Bit of talk on Twitter, he was unlucky. I thought he was out in time. He still ran very well. And Land of Plenty, huge again, back and wide. No real cover, yet he still stormed home. He's become a ripper, that horse.
He certainly has. Let's start to pick up Matty Hill's call. Hartnell's just...
Best of Days drives at Le Remain. Best of Days has won it from Le Remain. Peaceful State for fourth. Land of Plenty.
Great win, and that was a brilliant ride. Craig Williams, that's his 53rd career Group 1.
Here it is, Best of Days.
Yeah, and he took advantage of that barrier one. I think they were thinking the inside was probably the place to be. It wasn't, you know, it's bias beyond means, but I think most jockeys thought the inside was the go, and here's another one that rode the inside. He got the split at the right time, Craig Williams, and with his lightweight, he gets the job done. He was so good, Le Remain. You know, obviously he'd come from the 1,200 of the Everest to a mile here. It's not easy to do, although he did win that race the last year, didn't he? Yeah, a couple of years ago. So he's run up to his best there. Peaceful State Wouldn't mind seeing him, go to the Perth or something like that. He could be a horse we've still got all room to move, I would have thought. Yeah, I think a few of these horses will.
Here is the Lexus Melbourne Cup. What a field it is. Mike, firstly, best solution, no penalty, the Caulfield Cup winner. So suddenly, I mean, Cliff's a mile can't beat him, can he?
Oh, I wouldn't have thought so. And if Best Solution can run the 2 miles, which is the big question mark for him. I mean, he's got terrific form at 2,400 metres, but he's never been tested beyond that. So if he can run the trip, he'll be in the first 3 or 4, I would have thought.
Same story, Avilius, same story, Yucatan, same story, Youngstar, same story, Rostropovich. This is a year where a lot of those at the point end of the market just simply are unknown at the trip.
OK. Barrier number 23. Mike, when you watch that?
Nick didn't seem terribly happy about barrier 23.
I'm surprised. Positive?
Sorry?
Did he stay positive?
Nick's always positive.
After he regrouped?
I think he would have preferred to have drawn below 10.
OK, so who were the winners and losers out of that barrier draw, and who jumps each way?
With Marwin. I mean, I'd love to see Nick and Lloyd win again, and I think if that horse reproduces its best form over 2 miles, it'll probably win. But, yeah.
7 at the Gold Coast, and on the QOP, she goes pop 260.
Yes, we need to find one, because 2 things that are un-Australian, not taking a quaddie or a trifecta on Cup Day. So, pretty keen to have a go today. I'm pretty wide, quaddie-wise. Here's a market, and you see Magic Circle at 7.5 into 6.5, Yucatan 6.5, so equal favourites now. Cross counter out to $10, and Marmelo's had a nibble, $12. Best Solution.
It's showing a bit of a change too, because we know Yucatan was very heavily backed before the rain fell, but he is an easing favourite as we look at the day.
Oh, look, it's a phenomenal track. And look, we were chatting Mike off camera. I don't think there's too many tracks in Australia, let alone the world, that could cope with the sort of rain we had and then be upgraded during the day.
And one horse stands out like it beat the rest.
I'll go with Yucatan. Let's get the thoughts of Brent Saraf.
Well, thanks very much for that, Shane. I'm sticking with Cross Counter, the runner. It's quite remarkable to think that only a couple of hours ago this was certainly a lot of rain. We were thinking, how heavy could this track be? We're now on an improving soft track, and I'm hoping Cross Counter can get the job done. Let's get the thoughts now of Grace.
We'll contest the 2 miles at Flemington, chasing $7 million in prize money. First gets a cool $4 million. Runner by runner, Mr. Tony Brassel. Let's start with best
time at Caulfield there. He went outstanding, didn't he? Showed plenty of tenacity under pressure. Question mark at the 3,200 metres on what he's shown so far, but I don't think that. Another one that is a standout from the mounting yard, I'd have to say. He looks in gorgeous condition.
He's $12, Marmelo. Earlier today was around $14, so he has had support, especially off the back of the track downgrade.
They're still parading
in condition, so he's been prepped for the race big time.
Drifted this morning, $6.58 to $8 when we had the torrential rain. Now, in the last hour, $8 back into $6. So Yucatan getting plenty of admirers.
About to step out onto the...
In the $12, youngster.
Cross counter, lightly race for Godolphin. 7 starts for 4 wins. Karen McAvoy rides.
Yeah, both 23 and 24 fit the same bill. They're actually only 3.5 years old, having been foaled in the Northern Hemisphere, and both of them very good chances, I'd say, Cross Counter and...
Rostropovich.
How do we make money, Mr. Brassel?
Well, sure hope Muntaha gets the cash. There's my numbers, 5, 1, 11 and 20.
Look, I'm with Magic Circle and Yucatan, the main two. I think Magic Circle just being so strong at the end of 3,200, whereas Yucatan's unproven at the trip, just swayed me ever.
Update for the Melbourne Cup, and Yucatan is the favourite now at $6, so tightened in from $6.50. The outright favourite ahead of Magic Circle at $6.50. Cross counter hard of the market at $10. Marmelo at $13. Ready to go, set to run, and they're racing in the Melbourne Cup. Run away from the centre, jumped away well towards the inside. Auvray about middle of the field, out Von Jamask out well. There's a wave coming towards the outside. Runaway Finch and also Ace High. A Prince of Arran's trying to tuck in behind them with Sir Charles Road. Ventura Storm is nice and close early with Nikita. Very deep early is Rostropovich onto the course proper, and with 500 metres to go on the first lap, it's Von Jamask and Runaway, followed by Finch and a Prince of Arran. Ace High
High out deeper, and then came Sir Charles Road. Aubrey tucked away the inside. Rostropovich out deeper. Then Young Star, Soundcheck, and Ventura Storm from Magic Circle. Yucatan is 4 deep. Nikita the inside from Chestnut Coat, and then Muntaha Red Cardinal. Back in the field then is the Cliffs of Moore as they run past the stands from Who Shot the Barman. Now the Cliffs of Moore has gone amiss, I'm afraid. At the back of the field, the Cliffs of Moore has gone amiss and checked a couple of runners. So they leave the straight now with 2,200 metres to go, and Runaway is the leader in the Lexus Melbourne Cup by a length and a half and slows it right down. From in second place, Ace High. Von Jamask is third, and Finch in fourth place. Fifth is Rostropovich out deeper from Sir Charles Road, a Prince of Arran. Then Soundcheck, who can't get in. Young Star is underneath of it, and they were followed by Ventura Storm and Aubrey. Yucatan is next on the outside from Magic Circle, and then came Chestnut Coat the outside of Nikita. Further back is Muntaha and Who Shot the Barman, the veterans very deep from Red Cardinal. Then came Best Solution, Marmello. Well back is Zacada, and they were followed by Cross Counter at the back of the field with Avilius. Heading towards the 1,400 metres in the Melbourne Cup, and it's Runaway in front by a length to Finch, who's working up on the outside. They were followed by Ace High, third the outer. Then came the inside Von Jamask, and next in the field as they run towards Jaquita Lodge with 1,200 metres to go is Soundcheck, and then Sir Charles Road. Next in the field is Rostropovich around a Prince of Arran, then Ventura Storm. The inside next is Aubrey, and then came Young Star, a length to Magic Circle. Next is Yucatan around those with Nikita. A length away to Chestnut Coat, Who Shot the Barman, followed by Muntaha Red Cardinal. Well back in the field then is Marmello, and then came Zacada, and they were followed by Cross Counter towards the back of the field. Best Solution second last, and Avilius last. So it's Runaway coming up towards the turn in the Melbourne Cup at the 700. Leading from Finch, Von Jamask, then Ace High. Sir Charles Road sneaking up on the inside, a Prince of Arran making up ground. Then Ventura Storm, Soundcheck. Yucatan about 6 off the lead around the turn, followed by Von Jamask. Sir Charles Road, a Prince of Arran's presenting from Ventura Storm and Rostropovich. 300 to go. It's Finch with a Prince of Arran on the outside. Rostropovich is running on, and Marmello back to the inside too. A Prince of Arran. Marmello wearing making up ground. Ventura Storm, Soundcheck. Yucatan about 6 off the lead around the turn, followed by Aubrey and Nikita. Finch up to Runaway, followed by Von Jamask. Sir Charles Road, a Prince of Arran's presenting from Ventura Storm and Rostropovich. 300 to go. It's Finch with a Prince of Arran on the outside. Rostropovich is running on, and Marmello back to the inside too. A Prince of Arran at the 200. Marmello wearing it down. Marmello gets up on the inside, and here comes Cross Counter. Cross Counter coming at Marmello. Cross Counter's flying. The Blue Army have done it last. Cross Counter has won the Melbourne Cup from Marmello, a Prince of Arran, Finch. Then Storm and Rostropovich. 300 to go. It's Finch with a Prince of Arran on the outside. Rostropovich is running on, and Marmello back to the inside too. A Prince of Arran at the 200. Marmello wearing it down. Marmello gets up on the inside, and here comes Cross Counter. Cross Counter coming at Marmello. Cross Counter's flying. The Blue Army have done it last. Cross Counter has won the Melbourne Cup from Marmello, a Prince of Arran, Finch. Then Rostropovich, Young Star. Back behind those horses, Sir Charles Road and Best Solution, Munda.
The 158th Lexus Melbourne Cup has gone to Godolphin for the first time with Cross Counter, Charlie Appleby, Kerrin McAvoy, a third success in Australia's greatest race. It's an international victory.
He seemed to be empty, Yucatan, and the 400 I sort of had to go my own way, and we were full of running. The furlong I thought, mate, is this happening again? And yeah, look, I'm just lucky recipient. I can ride light and.
Well,
performance by the European 3-year-old. Second has gone to 9 Marmello, Huey Morrison and Hugh Bowman. European 1, 2 and European 3 with a Prince of Arran off the backup of his terrific win on Saturday, running third for Charlie Fellows and Michael Walker. Fourth has gone the way of Finch, Chris Waller and Zach Purton. A famous victory in Australia's greatest races. Godolphin have finally done it after many attempts over the best part of the last 20-odd years. Have done it.
Handed this.